with the shit you pulled 2 years ago at the Summit bragging Logan Bart McCallis. The name should ring a bell. Do you know the trauma? Oh my God, shut the fuck up. I can hear you from the end of the episode. Oh, well, sorry, but that's not very nice. Yeah,
Simulated
right.
causality loop detected.
Sorry.
Repairing.
I wish I didn't say that. Wait, okay, wait. I don't know what's going on either. Ignore that, okay? Let's just... Sonic! A very popular guy with some popular friends. He's colorful, he's got attitude, and if you obsess over him, you are kind of probably the person he would actively avoid, you fucking creep. Anyway, today ain't about the blue in his games. But did you know his buddies have games too? I know you don't care, Marcus, but you don't even care about your own daughter-in-law, so what the fuck do you choose to care about? You got Tails Adventure, Tails Sky Patrol, and whatever the fuck Tails and the Music Maker is. Have you ever seen this thing? It's called a Sega Pico. It's a kid's educational games console. Of course, there were Sonic games on it, but did you know that there were Pokemon games on this thing? I mean, it's all educational, but hell, officially licensed Pokemon on a Sega console. You know, if you plan to buy these, don't forget to pick up the special edition Pikachu Sega Pico to play on. Alright, but Knuckles. He's pretty cool, but he's only got a starring role in just one game. Chaotix, featuring Knuckles, or in America, Knuckles Chaotix. Don't put it in your pocket. Don't put it in your fucking pocket! It's your lucky corner, no! So, the story and context of this game are actually different depending on the language. In the US manual, an island resort called Carnival Island is having a great time and Knuckles is guarding it for whatever reason. Then the big Robotnik comes to steal the power from the mystical power emerald that powers the island. In the Japanese version, on Angel Island, the power of the Master Emerald altar pillar thing creates a tectonic movement, causing a mysterious new island to rise up. And, at the same time, the power also transforms the island into a green paradise place. Knuckles, over on Angel Island, theorizes that this island may have something to do with a long-lost civilization. He heads to the island to investigate. However, Eggman's has arrived there first, with the same idea. The evil genius discovers a ring with a mysterious ancient writing on it, in addition to a super ring that he believes was once used by this ancient civilization. This super ring contained a warp to a mysterious space, and when it was energized by the Master Emerald, the mysterious warp created 6 more special rings known as the Chaos Rings. Using the special power, Eggbot Man creates a shit ton of artificial knockoffs known as the Dark Rings. He builds a base, using the Dark Rings to not only power his dastardly contraptions around the place, but also creates a new copy of Metal Sonic with them. Egg Robo believes that by using this mysterious new power, he can reach the Master Emerald. By the time Knuckles gets there, it is now Eggman's own resort, Neutronic High Zone. Wow, they did not give a shit for the US version, did they? Was Knux a fucking security guard there? In both versions, Robotnik captures and imprisons Knuckles' comrades using his new invention, the Combi Catcher. He also invents this weird tether ring power thing. Not sure how Knux got it, but it's the main gameplay mechanic. The idea is that the game plays like a typical Sonic romp, but with 2 of the characters you selected being tethered together, in both single player and co-op. But what characters? Well, there's 7 in all, with 5 being brand new to this game. Knuckles. Obviously, he can glide and climb, just like in previous adventures. He can also spin dash, like most of the others. Espio is described as being single-minded and also wanting to investigate the island. He is envious of Knuckles. Vector the Crocodile is the big man who can dash through the air and also climb on walls. Vector is depicted as a super cheerful, optimist guy who's a real team player, ready to face any challenge with strength and kindness. Apparently he's also a man of God, yes, and he came to the island because he heard that it was an island of miracles. Well, what a force of positivity. Look at that man walk. Charmy B, said to be very proud and loud. He's the self-proclaimed fastest insect in the world. He's the character that weighs the least and can fly in any direction. He came to the island looking for new types of flowers. Mighty the Armadillo is a returning character from an arcade game called Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. He can wall jump, Yeah, that's actually it. He can wall jump. Mighty is a nomad who likes to travel all over the world. He's a calm and peaceful guy who doesn't like to get rough unless he needs to. He happened to stumble upon the island in his... He happened to stumble upon the island in his travels. Bomb the Robot is one of Robotnik's mechanics who decided to say fuck all that shit and join up with Knuckles and co. He explodes when he gets hurt. Heavy the Robot is the same as Bomb, except that he's the heaviest. This is the two's primary game appearance, but they would appear in later Sonic comics from what I hear. So you start off by running in as Knuckles and using the combi catcher to play a crane game to pick your partner. This is why Bomb and Heavy are here, but multiple copies of them actually, to basically fuck you over. But come on, I like these guys, they just want to help. Apparently if you do some extra stuff later in the game, you can get better control of who you pick, but it's not like impossible to pick a guy you want.
Hey Dizzy, I'm still getting everything ready for my big trip. Can I I'll just come back then.
No, ignore that. You want to play this game with me? It's a co-op game.
Yeah, alright, for a little while.
Alright, let's look goggle this thing. In co-op, you get to choose your character. Now, the main gimmick of this game is that the characters are tethered together by the rings they hold, like a rubber band. This allows them to do all kinds of crazy stuff, like gain speed in different ways and slingshot around. There are 5 levels called attractions that are further divided into 5 acts each. At the end of each act, if you manage to carry at least 50 rings to the end, then the super ring will appear to take you to the 32X special stage. And you can try to challenge it for one of the Chaos Rings. Collect all 6 and you can get the true ending. Let's do it then, Doobie!
Alright, let's go!
Okay, now work with me.
Okay.
Yep, oh.
No,
Yep.
okay, here.
Yep. Yeah, follow.
Alright, look at that, we got 50. Now we just have to...
Yeah, right, now you just have to hit the end.
Oh.
Fuck! Okay, let's continue. There are more rings in the level. Now just maneuver.
I'm doing that, right?
Okay, now here we go. Alright, now just extra careful. God fucking damn it. Man, it's the end of the level. But there are way more levels. We'll be okay. We just have to start up a new level. Start running, get those rings, and... Okay, follow, yes, follow. God damn it! The fucking bullshit! What a mechanic this is, trying to coordinate yourself as a fucking mission in co-op. It doesn't matter how careful you are, you're still gonna get suddenly pulled and slingshotted in one direction, often into an enemy. And it's not like this game has that many. Oh, but I know why there are only a few enemies, because it doesn't matter if you try to evade them, because at some point, you will be sent flying into them like a fucking magnet anyway!
Okay, finally, 50 rings! That took forever!
Yes, now we jump in! The special stages are honestly the coolest part of the game. The Sega 32X was a stopgap console between the Mega Drive and Sega Saturn, and this was some of the graphical power it could offer. Just like in Sonic 1's special stages, we have to collect a certain amount of blue spheres before we can collect our prize. The rings you brought in at the end act as a timer, slowly draining away, and losing them when you get hit, of course. Now, those 50 rings that you worked so hard to collect, if you fall off the stage or lose all your rings, you failed the special stage and you have to go through an entire another level. And it's not like these levels are even that long, they're not. Just trying to play through all these normally without trying to collect the Chaos Rings can be kind of fun. The problem is when you rocket around with those rings you so desperately cling to and attempt to avoid the only fucking enemy in your way. Very high chance, very high chance of fate itself locking you onto the enemy and fucking you. Now I'm sure that someone out there is good at this, perhaps even multiple. Some people might say that you have to take the time and learn how this whole system works. It's fun after a while. And while I am truly glad that those people have honest to God happiness and joy from the game, but not everyone wants to fucking Sky Blue Daisy all around before they're allowed to have fun! Kleenex. That because I cried once, one fucking time over Elmo in Grouchland, and now they won't fucking quit! The Kleenex makes his way through the dangerous night. It was 1958, and my latest case had taken me to this exact alleyway, where I would find the worst thing I've ever seen in my 8-year career. It was a can of compressed air. Oh my god, he's gonna die!
I'm not doing this anymore.
Oh, but yeah, I don't actually blame you. Now, besides only getting one try, I would say there's also a good bit of trial and error with these. Failing, going through the stage again, get a little further, fail, get a little further, rinse, repeat. And it wouldn't be so tough, but you gotta do this multiple times for each special stage. See, first you gotta collect enough blue spheres, and then you get to move on to the next part of the stage, which is more challenging, and you'll have to collect more spheres. But if I'm being honest, once you try them a little, the special stages are actually kind of fun. Not subjecting myself to them for several hours fun, but I did that too.
So finally, I got the 6 Chaos Rings.
Now all that remains is to make our way through the stages and face the bosses. I would go into more detail about the stages, but they're just fine. They look a bit garish at times, but I do say I like this game's graphics. And the music is pretty good. You have Botanic Bass, Speed Slider, Amazing Arena,
Techno Tower,
and Marina Madness! You want to come back and join me for the bosses, Doobie?
Yeah, I guess, as long as the ring business is over.
So, like I said, it's not too bad once you get all the rings. Hell, it's even halfway decent. So after defeating Eggfuck a couple times, Metal Sonic appears. And it's honestly kinda cool. He takes over the stage select machine and you have to destroy it. With our combined force of will, Metal Sonic is repelled. But the Robotnik isn't done yet, and he Cooper Colorado's his power to transform Metal Sonic into the ultimate weapon.
Metal Sonic Kai.
Whoa, he's got a pretty cool design.
Yeah. The metal monstrosity will swipe at you with his arms, fly all around, and fire a big fucking boom laser. But, like before, with enough force, Metal Sonic Kai and Eggbart are defeated. And as they attempt to rise with their remaining energy, the Chaos Rings glow with power, and we use them to banish the egg from the game. And look at that! It's Sonic and what the fuck? What are you guys here now for? Where were you?
So, what would have happened if we hadn't had all 6 rings?
Alright, so check it out. Chaotix isn't a bad game, the graphics are nice, the characters are cool, it has good music, and a unique version of Metal Sonic. And for the die-hard Sonic fan, it just might hit the spot. But the ring mechanic just never makes any justification good enough for why it should exist. And the problem only exacerbates the deeper you go. The console this came out on was the Sega 32X, which you had to pay $160 for. And new games costed 70 fucking bucks! And the 32X was an add-on to the Mega Drive, so if you had the 32X, then you had a Sega Genesis, which there were cheaper options for. Like in Europe, the very next month after Chaotix released, Sonic Compilation came out, which included 3 previous Sonic games. And so if you were brand new to Sega and you wanted to try Sonic, the choice wasn't difficult. I could pay over £200 to get ass fucked with Knuckles in 32X World, or I can pay $50 to get access to not only Sonic 1 and 2, but Bean Daddy as well? I mean, at least they had the sense to lower the price of the 32X to $100 and games to $20 later on. And I know not everybody is buying a 32X for Knuckles, but what the fuck else are you buying it for? A shitty Doom port? Fucking Golf Magazine presents 36 Great Holes starring Fred Couples? Well, there was Virtua Fighter, but ultimately it didn't fucking matter because the Sega Saturn was already out in Japan and was coming out in the US and the UK just 1 month after Chaotix. So they were pretty much fucked the whole time. But hey, if you like Knuckles, you might check this one out. I know there's people out there that this game was made for, but that ain't fucking me.
Simulated temporal loop has been repaired.
Oh, well, I guess that's my cue.
I guess Chaotix was a good way to pass the time while
Chaotix.